We're going to do England's best 11 for the World Cup at half-time. So get your thinking caps on. You'll be voted for by you. We'll go from goalkeeper all the way through. It's voted for by you. Join in the half-time debate. There we go. So let's start off with the goalkeeping situation. Let me end the poll there. Delo beat Ben White with 71% for best right back of the season so far. Right, let's start a poll. We'll go England's best 11 for World Cup. It's going to be good, this. I'm looking forward to this. Get your votes ready. You will be involved. So I will do Pickford, I will do Ramsdale, and I will do Pope, because sometimes there will be three. So get going. Who would be your goalkeeper for the World Cup? It's voted before by you, good people. Polls. We are going to be covering every game in the World Cup, the watch along. Ramsdale is looking like he's going to be the goalkeeper here. He's got 43% of the votes. I'm going to be honest, Mark. I don't see us getting past the round of 16 in the World Cup. Obviously, I want us to, and I'll get back our backers, but I think we'll go out, says Joe. Well, that's the whole point of doing this, really. You've got Ramsdale in goal for you then. There we go. So let's go with the right back. Now, I need some suggestions here. We're going 4-3-3 with this formation, by the way. So we'll have a back four, two holding midfielders, whatever you want to call them, a 10, a wide left, a wide right, and a forward. So let's go to right backs. Now, Reece James is out of the World Cup. Kieran Trippier has to be there. Arnold has to be there. I don't really think there's anybody else. I mean, is Kyle Walker going to be fit for the World Cup? That's the main thing. Kyle Walker and Calvin Phillips are both likely to be fit for the England World Cup. I wouldn't take Calvin Phillips. I wouldn't take him. I think that's bang out of order. I mean, even before the injury, he's hardly played. So we'll put Kyle Walker in there for your right back. Your starting right back. Trippier, Kyle Walker or Trent. Looks like Kyle Walker will be fit for the World Cup. So we'll throw him in at right back as an option for your starting 11. England's best 11 for the World Cup. And then we can judge that 11 and see what we think. I don't think Calvin Phillips should even go to the World Cup. You've got Ward-Prowse, you've got Bellingham, you've got Rice. I don't think you need to take Calvin Phillips as well. Ben White at right back for England. No thanks. I don't think he should be in there at all. Ben White at right back over Trippier, Trent or Kyle Walker. I think he's had a good season, but no. Trippier has won it by a landslide. We don't even need to hold on to this. He's got 60% of the vote in a 3-horse race. Trent's got 17%. Kyle Walker's got 23%. Let's do the centre-backs. So right-sided centre-back. Let's go with, well, I suppose John Stones. Who are the centre-backs? You've got John Stones, Harry Maguire, Tomori. Yeah, Stones or Dyer, I suppose. I mean, it is going to be Harry Maguire as left-sided centre-back. There's nobody who's going to beat him for that. I think Stones versus Dyer is interesting, but I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be anybody else other than Stones and Maguire. I mean, to be honest, we're not going to play a back four, are we? We're going to play a back five. This is the stupid thing, but it's your best 11. We won't play a back five. We're not Southgate. So yeah, John Stones wins that one and the poll. And left-sided centre back. Okay, I've got a late entry here. Maguire, Tomori, who may not even go to the World Cup. White, Dyer. I'm going to do a four-way. There. So Maguire, Tomori, White, or Dyer to play next to John Stones in a back four. Your choice. Wow, I'm very surprised here. I'm very, very surprised here by by what's happened in the chat, because a rather interesting scenario going on. I don't get. Make this make sense. Harry Maguire's on 16%, Ben White's on 27%, Dyer's on 6%, Tomori's on 52%. I mean, Stones is the right-sided centre-back, Lewis. He will never pick Tomori, but it's your pick. So there you go. You've gone with Tomori. There we go. It's a democracy. Let's go left back. Left back for England's best 11 in the World Cup. Interesting one, this. It's a straight fight, isn't it? Chilwell I mean, he might, knowing Southgate, he'll probably play Trippier, but it's going to be Luke Shaw, isn't it? And it's going to be Chilwell, who both have improved a lot from maybe the first month of the season where it looked a little bit dodgy. So Shaw or Chilwell for left back. Get your votes in. What midfielders have we got as contenders then? I mean, we don't need to take Calvin Phillips. You take Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, James Ward-Prowse. You don't take... You know what? If Southgate takes Calvin Phillips and he doesn't take James Ward-Prowse, I'd sack him before he even gets on the plane to Qatar. Still fuming you've ignored Dan Burn, says Joshua. Sorry, pal. Luke Shaw's won that one. 71% of the vote. On form at the moment. He probably is ahead of Chilwell, but that could change still in the next 2 weeks. Right, we're going to do CDM here. CDM, the number 6. Not the box-to-box, the number 6. You've got Henderson, Rice, and Phillips, who apparently is going to be fit to go to the World Cup, who I don't think deserves to go to the World Cup because even before his injury, he wasn't getting picked by Man City at all. So CDM, Henderson, Rice, or Calvin Phillips. Get involved. Should be quite a cruise through here. 91% of the vote for Declan Rice. I thought that would be the case. We won't dwell too long on that. We're working through box to box. So you've got Bellingham, Ward-Prowse. Again, another easily win for Bellingham. I think everyone knows Bellingham and Rice is our best midfield too. And then the third midfielder for me is quite an interesting one actually. I like Ward-Prowse. He's got to be part of the squad, by the way. Let's go with the more attacking midfielder, where you could go Mount, Maddison, or I think you could play Foden there as well. So Mount, Maddison, or Foden in the more attacking midfield position. Okay, let's come back. See who would you play as your attacking midfielder. Mount's got 18%, Maddison's got 28%, but it's Foden with 54%. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'd like to see Foden playing more centrally. Let's go to the left-hand side. Big up, Mark. As a Saints fan, you was a few people who was vocal on Ward-Prowse not going to the Euros. Nice to see someone backing him, says Aidan. Mate, I will lose my shit if Ward-Prowse doesn't go to the World Cup and Calvin Phillips does. I mean, I think that is 100% bullshit. Calvin Phillips was good in the Euros 2 years ago. But you know what? Madonna was a great pop star in the 80s. She ain't now. Like, move on. Bite it. Don't fight it. Ward-Prowse has been very good this season for Southampton. Calvin Phillips was never getting picked by Man City and then he got injured. You can't do that sort of thing. We're going to do the left winger now. So this is an interesting thing on the left hand side actually, because I actually quite like Grealish for England, but Grealish, Sterling. Who else could play off the left-hand side? I suppose he could play Rashford, couldn't you? Let's go with that. Grealish, Sterling or Rashford? I think it's going to be Rashford, and I think it's going to be on form, isn't it? You know, on form, Rashford is playing better than Grealish and Sterling. It's a fact. Personally, I do like Grealish for England, but I think we all know that Southgate will start Sterling. But I don't, I think it's an interesting one. 51% going with Rashford, 32% going with Sterling, and 17% going with Grealish. It's a tough one. It doesn't seem right putting Rashford there. I've got to be honest, even though I'm a United fan and I like him. He's not played for England, I think, since the Euros. So, yeah, it's a tough one. I'll go with you on that. It doesn't feel right to do it, but then I look at Sterling and Grealish and they're not playing particularly well at the moment. Off the right-hand side, look, to be fair, you can still put Sterling as an option off the right. Of course you can. Saka, I think, is the main option against him. Saka has obliterated Sterling there. Yeah, Harry Kane up front. I can't think of it. Look, who would you play up front? I can't think of an alternative. Callum Wilson, Tammy Abraham. Okay, look, we can run the poll, but. So your England starting 11 for the World Cup would be Ramsdale in goal, Trippier at right back, Stones and Tomori, and then Luke Shaw at left back, Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Rashford, Kane and Saka. That's not a bad England side, is it? That will never get picked by Southgate because he's a boring, waistcoat-wearing, negative manager who will play a back five. But that's what England could be under a manager that wanted to play football. I'm not saying it's good enough to win the World Cup, but Ramsdale, Trippier, Stones, Tomori, Shaw, Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Saka, Kane, Rashford. I still think the back four is a little bit weak, but the midfield and the attack is very, very good.